Well, the case against Asanda Makaluza, a 22-year-old woman who allegedly poured water on a child, has been postponed to the 25th of October for a regional date hearing. This after the state changed the charges from assault with intent to cause grievous bodily harm to attempted murder. Makaluza made a brief appearance at Bishop Lavis Magistrates Court. SABC News reporter Atule, Joka, and video journalist Josh Sharrock are covering the story. Atule, good morning to you. I think let's start really from the incident itself. What exactly happened, or what do we understand happened?
Well, Naledi, what appeared to have happened was that in June, some few kids were playing outside a gate outside the gate of the alleged perpetrator's house in Langa. This incident happened in June, but she was only arrested in July. So as they were playing there, it's alleged that the perpetrator came out and poured boiling water on the little victim, who is known as a 4-year-old, but we cannot name her now, just for security reasons and also for child protection reasons as well. And then she was arrested in July after some pressure from activism groups, and her case at the time was was attempt with grievous bodily harm, but it has been changed to attempted murder due to the seriousness of the injuries that were inflicted on the young 4-year-old child. So earlier on today, there was a bit of a fracas earlier on here when Asanda Makaluza was walking out to her car. She was covered, and her father tried to fend off the media, which was trying to take off the pictures, and also some of the activists were hurling insults at her, and they sped away. He had agreed to speak to us, but he couldn't speak to us due to those reasons. The case has been now postponed to the 25th of October for a regional court date due to the seriousness of the charges. I will try to bring in one of the activists, Kaylin Palm from Action Society. Kaylin, what is your reaction to the developments of this case?
Well, we were extremely disappointed this morning when we arrived at court and we heard that the accused has been let out on bail, meaning that she can roam the streets as we speak. We heard that apparently they went to the High Court, an application was made at the High Court, and bail was granted. So we cannot understand why or how the justice system, or rather the courts, can allow someone who has allegedly thrown a child with hot water, practically wounding him, to be let out on bail.
And also, have you been in contact with the victim side of the family? How is the little child doing now?
Well, the little boy, when we last saw him, while speaking to the family, he's been doing well. Some of his wounds has recovered. He's now going to creche and he's doing activities. But leading up to that point where he has recovered or recovering, he was suffering. He was not only as a little boy, he was suffering, but the family as well. They were worried about him, and this was rather traumatic for the family as well. So we are glad that he is recovering. That's a positive thing, but the fact that she has been released on bail just shows that the justice system doesn't really take matters against children and women seriously enough from Action Society's side.
So what action will you be taking going forward from here?
So we are going to follow the next court date. The next court date is on the 25th of October. We will definitely be here. But at the same time, we will continue to hold the justice system accountable, and we will continue to have our voices heard, not to allow alleged perpetrators of this nature out on the streets.
Thank you so much, Kaylin.
Thank you.
Kaylin Palm, Media Liaison Officer of Action Society, just saying they are very disappointed that the accused has been released on bail without following all the proper procedures, saying they will follow this until the very end. I will speak to Mr. Mbulelo Don, who's also a community activist. You were talking to us about the reaction of the community. How are the tensions now in the communities?
Well, since we have informed them that the court has been postponed until the 25th of October, there will be a mass meeting at 5 o'clock in Langa, where we would have met with the IO then to get all the information that they have mandated us to get, and then after that we will see how does it go.
How's the general feeling of the community after it was announced that Asanda has been released on bail?
It's the community is angry. I must not hide that. I must not be diplomatic about that. there's a sense of disappointment. However, we'll do our best to kind of calm them, to kind of get them into understanding how the justice system works. I mean, it's frustrating, man. It's kind of disappointing. A 4-year-old boy with third degree wounds, and the perpetrator has been released on bail, and none of the community leaders, none of the family members were kind of informed about that.
How important is it to educate the community or to speak to them? We understand that tensions are high, but about the importance of following all the legal procedures.
Look, what might happen because of the direction that they want to take? What might happen? The focus might change from the perpetrator to them, because they want to take the law into their own hands. Now, that will have consequences on one of them or all of them. So it's very important. Frustrated as you are, you have to abide by the law. You have to.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mbulelo Twane, community activist, just trying to quell those tensions which are high, and communities here are speaking to us earlier on, saying that the community was trying to take the law into their own hands, trying to go to that house. You understand, earlier on when this incident broke out, they went on to protest outside the house of the perpetrator, and after they heard that the perpetrator, Asanda Makaluza, has been released on bail, they have been planning to do something and take their law into their own hands, saying even though people are frustrated as they are, it is quite important to calm themselves, to contain themselves, and also allow the justice system, even though they feel disappointed, to take its course, as that may result in them suffering the implications of all these actions that they might take on their own. Naledi.
A very concerning story, of course, of that 22-year-old woman alleged to have poured boiling water on a child.